Hey guys, welcome back. We're here. Karen?
We're here. Here
All
we
right.
are.
Good. So, hey guys, we're going to get started, but anything that we say is not meant to diagnose you or replace your medical care. Check with your doctor before following any of this advice, okay? That being said, Karen, what do we have going on social media?
Wow, I
Not
haven't.
much?
It's not even connected yet.
Okay, you work on that.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk about several things.
Are there going to be quizzes?
There's
or
going
questions?
to be one quiz,
Okay.
but with two
Parts?
cool pieces of information, tips.
Tips.
We
Questions and
have a lot of
tips.
questions. I'm going to jump right into Sanjay from Maryland. You had a question, Sanjay. Go ahead.
Good morning, Dr. Berg, and good morning, Karen.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
I just want to say thank you for all the things you do. Just quick update on me that I've been following your plan for like the last 14 months, and I have lost about 40 pounds. And
Wow.
Good job.
brought back my A1C below 5.5, which is 5.4 now,
Good.
and kind of reversed my pre-diabetes, and also lost my stomach inches about 8 inches. From
Wow.
That's not bad.
That's
Amazing.
great.
But it's actually it's bad because you have to buy new clothes, and that's
Yeah.
going to be expensive.
Sorry about that.
I am still buying it slowly.
Yeah.
Don't shop too much if you have any more to lose.
Yeah, exactly. So the question is not about me. The question is about my brother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
He has celiac disease, and it was recently diagnosed. And he has a lot of pounds to lose, like 30, 40 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And he started, after watching my success, he started following your plan like about 6 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And his weight is like 195. And after 6 weeks of doing like 2 meals a day, 16 hours, 14 to 16 hours of fasting, his weight is still stuck at 195.
Okay.
And he's taking ACV. He's doing the 2 meals, the way you says, more veggies, moderate protein, and high fat, but it's not working for him. So
Okay.
any suggestion you have?
Sure. So this is a common question that a lot of people want to know. I'm doing it. I plateaued. What can I do to kind of get back into it, like start losing more weight? First of all, the question you want to ask your brother, and I know people always ask for other people, it's not themselves. I'm just kidding. But
They're
when
friends.
someone is not losing weight, I always want to, are you losing size? Are you experiencing other improvements with your energy? Are you having improvements with your health other than weight? If so, then it's working, give it more time. But there's some things that you can always do to speed things up. Adjust. Once you're into hardcore ketosis, you'll know it because your cravings go away, you're not hungry anymore, so we know it's working. But at this point, you can start to adjust your fat intake. Start to maybe cut it down. This forces your body to burn your own fat, and instead of the dietary fat, even though you're in ketosis. So you're in ketosis, but those ketones are coming from the diet, not your own body. So just adjust that. The other thing is, like, are you following the principle of not eating if you're not hungry? So if you're just routinely having 2 meals a day when you're not really hungry, so just stop eating until you actually get hungry, and it might actually be you just need 1 meal a day. A lot of people, especially if they're over the age of 18, need to do 1 meal a day. I'm just kidding. Over the age of 40, they should probably do 1 meal a day. They do better on that because the metabolism is slow. So that would be the short answer. And then the last thing I want to mention is be careful about the vegetables, because if you're doing too many and you're bloated, that can plateau you. So you want to adjust the vegetables. I have a lot of videos on that. Okay, Sanjay? I'll talk to you later. All right, Karen?
I got one.
All right, good.
Okay. Good evening. I'm trying to get into full keto, but as soon as I try to have equal grams of fat to protein, I take forever to digest my meal, 12 hours. I feel hungry unless I eat more protein.
Well, I don't know where he got the idea that you need equal grams of each.
Right. I
Now-
don't know.
Now, think about this. When you have a steak, you don't have half of it fat and half of it protein. That would be a really fatty piece of meat, wouldn't it?
That would be like that A5 Agu beef.
Right, right.
Or however
okay.
you say that.
So I would consume, if I were you, I would consume the food in its natural state that comes in, so you're not adding more fat, and just have the steak or the meat, and then just consume it like that and not worry about it. But if you're craving more protein, we'll eat more protein. Some people need more. The way that you know you have too much protein is, let's say your urine is foaming up too much. It smells like ammonia. That would be too much. Or, for example, you're getting tired after you eat. So if you feel good after you eat and you're consuming 8 ounces of protein, good, then that's what you need. All right, Karen?
Yeah, that's great.
You weren't even listening, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
I lost interest. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But here's another one.
Okay, go ahead.
I was hypothyroid when I started. I'm assuming that means keto.
That means hypothyroid is a slow thyroid.
Hypo, now hyper. Okay,
Now-
and says meds dropped from 120 blah 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 to 25, still hyper. It's just saying, should I go off my meds? We never make a recommendation on meds, but talk about.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you're hypo and you're taking medication and you do this diet and all of a sudden become hyper, that means you're taking too much medication. Get with your doctor, because the purpose of the medication is to raise the thyroid, okay, to give you more thyroid hormones. It's already hyper. Why would you want to take it? It's kind of like, we got a fire. Should we add more gasoline? Well, no, we have more fire. You're going to add, it's going to make things worse. So,
What are you going to add?
water. So you want to get with your doctor. If you're hyper, you shouldn't be taking any medication, because it's going to just make it worse.
Yeah, your doctor will help you with that.
I'll help you. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
Okay, good. How about a call?
All right. Thank you, Karen.
Sure.
Okay. Marie from Connecticut. Are you there?
I am. Good morning, Dr.
Good
Berg,
morning.
and good morning, Karen.
Hi.
Good morning. You touched on my question a little bit, so I just want to ask one more question on that, and then I have a question. So I do 1 meal a day. I lost a bunch of weight at the beginning. I have not lost any weight for about a year, but I still follow the keto plan. If I add exercise, am I going to need to stay with the exercise? And if I ever back off, I'm just going to gain the weight back again? And my second question is, I have a 7-year-old son who I've watched your ADHD video about the B1. He does not have ADHD, but he's struggling in school to stay focused. He does eat carbs, and I'm working on it. If the B1 is not working, should I give him more B1? Is there a better vitamin than B1? Any help I would really appreciate it.
Okay. So a couple things I want to mention, Marie. Just let's talk about your son. A lot of times in school, you know, it's not even necessarily nutrition. It's just they don't teach how to learn, the technology of learning. As a side note, you might want to email me at drberg@drberg.com on that note, and I'll recommend a book on study. How about that? That could actually help him greatly learn, and that little missing step, like how do we actually learn versus memorization. Now, as far as B1, if you're giving him B1 and it's still not working, I think he just needs to cut down the carbs. So, because I'm telling you, and this happens in so many people, they don't realize it. When they start going in keto, they're realizing how much more cognitive function they have, but you can tell them till they're blue in the face. Until they do it, they will just not know. So I would start giving your child keto-friendly desserts, alternatives, keto bombs, things like that. Keep those around the house. Just get all the refined carbs out of the house and the sugar, so there's just nothing there. You can't find anything. I think that, oh yeah, and then as far as the exercise goes, I think you should need to add the exercise and not be too concerned if you are going to then stop exercising. I think everyone needs to exercise for the rest of their life to some degree.
Why look at me?
I was just looking over there
You
at
looked
the
at me
door.
when you
I wasn't even looking at you. I was looking. Some people
He was looking
need
at me.
to. Now, Karen does work out hardcore, and she's like, yeah, she's pushing herself. Okay, good. I thought you liked that. Yeah. But everyone needs to exercise because
you need to work bodies. You need to move your body.
You have to counter the amount of stuff coming in on your body on a regular basis. If you don't counter that with actively, aggressively exercising to keep your fitness up, you just kind of break down.
Gravity
faster.
works.
Right. So I would do that. That's going to help you. But if you plateaued and you still have a good amount of weight to lose at 1 meal a day, I would look at your fat grams, and I would probably do prolonged fasting a little bit. I would basically eat every other day. That's what I would do if I were you, especially if you're not hungry. Those are some suggestions, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Have a fun question for you.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Dr. Berg, I've been a huge fan following you for years. So my question is, with all the diets out nowadays, how do I know which one benefits my body the best?
Now, you've been a fan for a long time.
And you're asking that question.
And you are asking the question, what type of diet? I think that maybe you've been a fan, but you haven't been watching any of my videos.
But you know what? The only reason I read this one is because there's other people watching. Maybe this guy, it's a guy, maybe he actually knows, and maybe he's throwing the question out there.
Okay, that's fair.
Because there's confusion about that, especially
we've
heard.
Very good point.
I'm not going to go into it, but we've heard fitness gurus make, blanket, uneducated statements that can influence people's decisions.
I think the best way to do this is take. Let's say you're confused. You have all these diets. I would. And you don't necessarily, maybe you don't want time to research everything and try to figure it out because it's like way too much. I would go not by if someone has a certain credentials, like, oh yeah, they have a certain specialty, because that doesn't mean anything. Mm-mm. I would go by their results, go to their website. How many actual real success stories do they have working with actual people?
Long-term, stable success.
Yeah, like look at their success stories. Like let's say, I'm not biased, but myself, we get massive amounts of success all over the place.
Tons, dramatic, not just weight loss, but health.
And so you could see, these are real pictures and they're not, edited, photoshopped or anything like that. So right there, that will tell you, versus someone that maybe doesn't have any success stories. And you might say, well, that doesn't mean anything, but it does because people are actually doing it. Right. And you could actually read those and go, wow, maybe I should try this, and then try it. If you still don't believe it, then go ahead and do the program for 3 weeks, and then stop, do someone else's program, compare the results, then you'll know. Mm-hmm. But unless you do it, you'll never know. But I will say that you will get the best results with our program. And I'm not being biased.
Right.
I'm just being
sarcastic.
Well,
I mean
I'm very biased.
The thing that we've touched on a couple of times is that the body heals a certain way under certain conditions. The body loses weight under certain conditions. I don't care what you call the diet, but I can tell you that if you're going to do a low-fat, high-carbohydrate diet, you're going to have certain situations, and Google it. Don't listen to us, and then find out, what does ketosis mean? This isn't something that Dr. Berg made up. This is what happens in your body. Autophagy. This isn't a phrase Dr. Berg made up. This is what happens when the body is healing and building.
Now we have to define that because you just gave the word.
So, good point. Autophagy.
This is when you start doing fasting, your body starts to recycle old damaged proteins. So it's like a self-cleaning oven. It cleans up things. So, and that's why we recommend intermittent fasting. One reason, and then the other reason is keto. Keto basically is a method of combining your foods in a certain way to then make these things called ketones, which is a different type of fuel. Your body likes ketones, and it's the byproduct of burning fat. So ketosis is really fat burning. So wouldn't you want to do that if you're trying to lose weight?
Right.
Fat burning?
And any diet you're on where you are burning fat, you're in ketosis. So you can have a celebrity, you can have a doctor, you can have anybody saying that these things don't work, but This is an opinion, that's an asinine statement because that is what your body is doing when you're burning fat. So
On that note, Karen,
on that note,
let's take a question.
Hey, but let me ask you a question.
No.
Is something coming up later in the show?
It's coming up right now, actually. I'm going to ask a question right now.
Okay.
So you guys go ahead and answer this question. Does apple cider vinegar have a lot of potassium? Yes or no? Don't look it up, though. Just give me your
Guess.
quick answer.
Yeah.
Okay, let us know on the interwebs.
Inners web.
So Rachel, you're from Ontario, and where it's really warm right now. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much.
Are you buried under?
Actually, we don't have any snow right now.
Wow.
It's cold, but there's no snow.
Wow.
Okay. So you had a question. What was it? What was your question?
So I've never had allergies my entire life, seasonal or otherwise. And about 1.5 years ago, I started experiencing allergies. Sneezing every morning about 30 times, roof of my mouth swollen, nose burning, eyes itchy, red, and I don't know why. And it's not worse one time of the year as opposed to others. It's just all year round.
Okay. So did it happen just all of a sudden?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Was there anything that
Pretty
occurred?
much out of the blue.
Was there anything that occurred right before that? Any change or anything you added or anything?
Not really. I've done the perk test on my arm. It showed that a little bit of an allergy to dust, a little bit of an allergy to grass. But like I said, it's wintertime, still freezing.
Now, if it's wintertime now, and do you still have the allergy right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's all year round.
Now I've been doing the keto diet. I did it a couple months ago, and then I kind of got out of the groove, and I'm back doing it, and I do feel a little bit better with my symptoms.
Yeah.
I'm not sneezing as much, but it's still there. Like I take a really strong antihistamine every single day just to function.
So it's sinus.
I obviously don't want to do that long term.
Sinus?
Sinus, yeah, just sinus. Yep.
Okay. All right. So a couple things. The first thing you need to know is adrenaline, which is a hormone that your adrenal makes, is really important in preventing and handling allergies. I mean, if you think about allergies in general, they use people that have severe allergies, anaphylactic shock, use EpiPen. That's epinephrine, that's adrenaline. So adrenaline helps to kind of neutralize these histamines really quick. And then you also have another one which is called cortisol, that's the adrenal. So that's why I was asking, was there a stress event? You know, you need to support the adrenal. One really interesting remedy for adrenaline is vitamin B3 in higher amounts. Just FYI, that's a side note, vitamin B3 niacin. Now, second thing I want to mention is that if you have it all year round, it's usually more of a fungus or some type of microbial thing in your sinuses, in which case the intermittent fasting with keto is going to help it over time. But you have to do a little bit more intermittent fasting. I would also start taking garlic. There's also nasal rinse different nasal neti pot type things that you can look up online that I have a video on that will help clear that out. So I think I would do garlic as the number one thing though. All right, Rachel, thanks for your call. Karen?
Excuse me.
You focusing on the next question? Oh, we have to answer the question.
Right.
Okay, good. Give it to me.
You know, it's really split, the yeses and the nos. I've even gotten some explanations on both.
Okay.
So
then the answer to this question is apple cider vinegar does not have a lot of potassium. Okay, so 1 tablespoon, guys, is 11 milligrams.
someone read the label
I knew they were going to do that.
and reported on that.
Yeah, 1 tablespoon is 11 milligrams. Now, think about it. We need 4,700.
It's a lot of bottles.
If you do the math on that, 11 milligrams, it would be very, very low amounts of potassium. So the true benefit of apple cider vinegar is not in the nutrients. It's in the actual acid. And just as a side note, and you'll have to watch the videos that I do on this that I'm going to release. I may have released one today, actually. No, I didn't. Tomorrow. But here's the thing. When you buy apple cider vinegar, you want to get raw apple cider vinegar.
Why?
Because when you heat it, you kill the enzymes. And the enzymes are also beneficial. That's why I like Bragg's. There's other ones you can get. But if you get it raw, organic, that's really good.
And is that the floaters on the bottom?
No.
Or I guess they're the
That is,
sinkers.
sometimes it's called the mother. It's the mother, it's called, of the apple cider vinegar.
Like
and
in
that's,
kombucha?
yeah, it's kind of like a residue of the microbes and the yeast and the pectin, which is a little fiber in there, which is not going to give you a lot of nutrients. It's not like this magical thing that's going to give you nutrients, but it just tells you it's unfiltered, so that's good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You know, Karen, when I was 8 years old, we had a crab apple tree in the backyard. And
Tart.
Very tart.
Very
And
tart.
there was this farmer that lived on the other side of the cornfield. And I took a huge bushel basket of apples to him, and he made apple juice for me. He ground them down. It was really nice. So I took this juice and I put it in jugs and I left it outside for a couple of days, and it turned into spiked, let's call it apple cider.
Did you?
It was an alcoholic beverage.
It was.
That
and
was the
did you
start
do that
of
on
my.
purpose?
Yeah, sort of, because I knew that it was kind of spiked, and
You
that was
did
the
that
start
at
of my alcohol.
8 years old.
Yeah.
How did you know about that at 8?
You know, I was
You were an
searching the
achiever.
internet, and I was finding all this stuff
At 8 years old.
because I'm only like 25.
You.
But
We're a
I'm being
researcher even back
sarcastic
then.
about being alcoholic. But
No,
the interesting thing is if you keep leaving this fermented drink longer, it eventually turns into vinegar. And that's what apple cider vinegar is. It goes from apple sugar to alcohol to vinegar.
Oh.
Okay, Karen, I just thought you might want to know that, even though you probably already knew that. So we need to go to Angela from Florida. Are you there?
I'm here.
All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for my call. I was diagnosed yesterday with LPR, which is the acronym, and I don't think I can pronounce it right.
Laryngeal
Laryngeal
reflux.
You
Okay.
got it, right. And the recommendations are that I should have alkaline water with my meals, which I think you do not agree with alkaline water.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I should reduce my fat intake. I've been on keto since a year ago, January. I'm 76. I've lost 25 pounds. It's very slow. I have no thyroid, and it's slow, and it's okay. I'm happy because my inches have gone down, but now I'm kind of perplexed. I don't know what to do because I want to continue on keto, and I don't know how I do that if I have to reduce my fat intake.
Yeah, good question. When they took out your thyroid, did they take out your parathyroid as well? Do you know?
Everything.
Okay.
And
So,
I've been on omeprazole for many years for the regular reflux and GERD, and I once in a while I'd rebound. I'd have to take 40, but I currently and for the last 4 years have been taking 20 milligrams of omeprazole. And the ENT doctor I saw yesterday would like me to increase it, but he said, I don't want you to. He said, I want you to try the dietary changes and first. So
all right,
there
so
we are.
here's what I'm going to recommend. When you have a spasm in your larynx or your pharyngeal area right down through here, and you have this chronic cough or this throat thing that you keep swallowing, that's really a calcium, a hypocalcemia. It's a low calcium situation. Probably because when they took out your thyroid, they took out the parathyroid, and the parathyroid regulates calcium, I'm guessing. I don't know for sure, but if you take calcium orotate, that's a really good source of calcium for this condition. You may get benefit. So anytime you get this chronic cough or this throat thing, think about it, it's a spasm, just like you'd have a Charlie horse. Calcium works really, really good. Of course, other minerals will help, but I would do the calcium orotate for that condition. I would not do low fat. That's not going to really help you if you go low fat. I mean, you want to go low carb. That will help. And also, watch some of my videos with using this acupressure tool. There's a great technique that you can put this device in the lower part of your neck, opposing wherever that sensation is in your throat, and you sit back on your couch, and it actually will just melt any tension in your front of your neck, whether it's a, stiffness or a problem with a tickle in your throat or any irritation. If you want to find a video on that, I think if you search Dr. Berg and stress webinar, you'll find more data on that. Okay, good question. All right, over to you.
So there's an interesting question about elevated red blood cells. Can anything regarding fasting or ketosis elevate, I'm assuming beyond a normal level, your red blood cells?
Yeah, I don't have enough data to give you an opinion. I don't know. I really don't know.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Karen.
Okay.
So we're going to go to Mike from Chicago. Are you there, Mike?
Yes, I am.
All right.
How's it going, Dr. Berg?
Good. Let's see. What's your question?
Yes. So I've been following your keto and steroids since end of November. It's been going pretty well. Lost about 46 pounds or so now.
Wow.
Awesome.
Thanks. I'm about 310. Doing one meal a day. I'm noticing I'm kind of stalling out whenever I'm doing the one meal a day. So I've been doing the intermittent or the prolonged fasting.
Mm-hmm.
My couple questions are, right now I'm using your macros from the video because around that is my goal weight. My first question is should I be tweaking my macros because I am heavier than that now? And my second question is, how often and how long should I be doing those prolonged fasts?
Okay, good question. So obviously you want to speed things up. You want to, because of course you watched the video called Keto and Steroids. So it was a good video. Here's what you can do. You can always improve your ketosis by dropping your carbohydrates. Okay, so that's number one. Now, on the keto for steroids, we're dropping it down near zero, but it's not zero because I did also include, I think, some nuts in there. So if you just get rid of the nuts and anything that has a carb, don't worry about eggs. Eggs might have a 0.6 grams of carbs. You don't have to worry about that. It's not even a half a carb. But I'm talking about like anything that could give you carbs. So you drop that. The next thing you want to drop is your fat grams, because you might be using those as ketones and not your own body fat. So those are two things. Of course, add the exercise in there. That will help you greatly if you can include that every day, and even like alternative like walking versus high intensity. But the last thing is the prolonged fasting. I recommend for health benefits, like every month do a prolonged fast, like 2, maybe 3, maybe even 4 days as a routine thing. But for those people that want a more aggressive approach, you could pretty much like do a meal each day and then skip a day of eating. A meal each day, skip a day. You could do that as well. You will lose some serious weight, but just make sure that your meal is super, super nutrient dense. And I think that's a good time, Mike, to bring up my first topic that I'm going to talk about, Karen.
Okay.
And that would be like nutrients. There's some interesting things about nutrients. The function of, let's just take B3, or we can take magnesium or B1. These nutrients, a lot of people don't realize that they're involved in kind of a helper nutrient to make your body work better, to make enzymes work better. Like they're called coenzymes. So they're like cofactors, they're helper to allow the chemistry to occur, whether it's to make body tissue or to detoxify or to maintain a function or make fuel. They're intimately involved with that. So you have all these nutrients. But let's just take magnesium, for example. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzyme functions. Now, what does that mean? That means it's involved in a ton of stuff. So if you have a subclinical, that means that you're not a full-blown deficiency of magnesium. You just have you have most of it, but you don't have 100% of it. Your body on a priority system will fulfill certain functions, but not others. It'll fulfill functions related to survival. So it has its own hierarchy of functions that's going to support. So you may not notice the classical symptoms, like let's say vitamin C, let's say you're deficient in vitamin C, like scurvy, bleeding gums. You might not notice that. Or beriberi, which is B1 deficiency, or vitamin B3, which is pellagra, which is severe skin problems. You just might notice that you're tired. You might notice that you're stiff. You might notice like some weird skin thing, but you don't have a full-blown deficiency. So one of the things I'm just trying to do is help people understand the magnitude of getting enough nutrients in your food. So when you go keto, don't just do a low carb, like go high quality, nutrient dense. Like don't just like eat some regular processed food at 7-Eleven, say I'm in keto. And that's why we recommend healthy keto, which means, Karen, nutrient dense, satisfying all the deficiencies, and high quality nutrients. So you have like grass-fed or pasture-raised eggs. And I think people need to like know why they're doing that is because they might have subclinical deficiencies. And one point I want to bring up about that is that in the morning I take wheatgrass juice powder every morning. The unique thing about wheatgrass juice powder is that it has not just the chlorophyll that's in the green, but the source is very high quality. It's from a farm from Utah, an organic farm. And then also it's a super concentrated thing where you're taking a whole bunch of grass and you're taking the liquid out of it, and then you're freeze drying it in a low temperature thing. So I'm just going to show you what that is. It's right here. We have them in boxes right now. Wheatgrass juice powder. This is kind of slightly sweetened, and this is the regular right here. And these are kind of convenient. So most of you guys are probably already taking this, but if you're not, you might want to check it out. One packet of this is equivalent to a tray of wheatgrass.
Whoa.
So you're getting super concentrated chlorophyll. And then one last point, Karen, and then I'll shut up. But I just think it's interesting because you have all the nutrients, and then you have the phytonutrients, which are the antioxidants. Mm-hmm. And so I actually hired an independent lab to source out this wheatgrass with two of the top competitors. I'm not going to mention their name, but they're the big guys on the internet promoting it way more than mine. And I have the results on the website. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Okay, so if you look on my website, it's drberg.com. And you go to the wheatgrass juice powder, scroll down, and I actually have the results of that study. And if you look under it's called carotenoids, like ours just like massively is way more than anything else out there. Thank you very much. And also, I measured 3, because it was like expensive. It was like 4,000. I didn't tell you that, but yeah. But I wanted to measure just a couple phytonutrients, and so you'll see the results like it just smokes the competitors. And
That's good to know.
Yeah, because you're consuming. But do you know what an antioxidant is? Or
Well, go ahead, because I'm sure I won't explain it as well as you.
Let's take an apple. You cut an apple, it's going to turn brown eventually, right?
Right.
That oxidizes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you took lemon juice,
put it over, it doesn't.
Why?
Because lemon's an antioxidant.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So antioxidants actually protect against all the crap that's hitting us, oxidation, the chemicals, the radiation, the stress. So if you were a diabetic, for example, and you got nerve problem, like your feet start getting numb, like B1 has antioxidant properties that would actually protect you against getting damaged. So you might have diabetes, but you don't have the complications of diabetes. So antioxidants are really important in protecting you against all the damage that occurs from diseases and mutations and all sorts of things.
And that's in the wheatgrass.
Well, this is why I don't want to say this cures anything. It just provides you so many nutrients, so many antioxidants that you would have to consume a lot of food to get those, and you would have to get them from a high quality source.
Right.
So this provides, as I'm studying this stuff, I'm like, I need to be taking more of this. So I started taking more and more each morning, and I'm like, wow, it's just quite amazing. I mix it in water, drink it down, and
Well, it's good if you have attention on, is my diet really nutrient dense? Or
Am I
I have
getting
a weird,
enough?
am I getting enough?
Mhm.
Now you mentioned something else I just want to go back to,
okay.
because you spit out a word called subclinical,
Yes.
right? So the idea is you go to the doctor and your lab tests are all fine.
Shows normal.
Shows normal, but you feel a certain way. You feel tired, or your joints are stiff, or you feel this or that. It's at that point. I mean, I think of moms, I think of myself with handling my own body or my children. You know, I don't want my family to be uncomfortable or in pain or have symptoms, right? But it's at that point where the symptom chasing starts. And so you go to the doctor, or and I mean, I've done this myself, right? I have
Yeah.
certain symptom, and I go and I get lab tests, and the doctor's like, there's absolutely nothing. Okay, well, that's good, but there is something. I mean, it's a slippery slope. It's where somebody could say, hey, you need to take a drug because you have anxiety about your body, or, you know, that's really the slippery slope in one direction. But the other thing is just the symptom chasing, or the drugs for symptoms, or the painkillers for symptoms, or the joint pills, right? But what I'm saying is, and I know this, but even when you were saying that right there, I thought, wow, it is at that point where you just have to stop and go, wait a second, it is a symptom, and I really need to look at how nutrient dense my diet is. I really have to reinforce, the discipline on the carbs for my kids or my family, or something like that. Instead of symptom chasing, just come back to
The basics.
the basics of how nutrient dense and carb free, proper carb free, is the diet.
If you don't, if you're doing 2 meals a day, you're doing 1 meal a day, don't waste it on low quality food. Like, really focus on the quality, because the last thing you want to do is end up with subclinical deficiencies and things like that. So this is not just about weight loss, it's about increasing your health. So I'm just saying, start eating really healthy and make sure the quality's there. And because we're cutting down the types of the quantity of food, basically the frequency of food, it's going to save you money to invest in the quality of food. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's all I'm saying, Karen. And
I think that whole thing could be a whole hour-long conversation. But
well,
we'll
we are
take
going to go
more
to
calls.
Darlene from Nevada. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. I've been on your keto diet since 5 months, and I've lost 50 pounds, and I'm an
Congratulations.
insulin-dependent. Yeah, insulin-dependent type 2, and I'm 72 years old. I was on 100 units a day of insulin, and I've been able to bring it down to 20 units. And I'm wondering, should I keep bringing it down, because I'm starting to bottom out?
You're starting to bottom out? Oh, I got it. Well, do you know what would be interesting? I mean, you're type 2. You're apparently not type 1. The difference is that type 1, your cells that produce insulin just are not producing at all. Type 2, they are to some degree. So your cells must be producing to some degree in your pancreas, but you're taking it. So obviously you're not producing enough. You got 2 things that you're dealing with diabetes. The damage from the high sugar, and then the damage from...
Yes, neuropathy already.
Right, and then you have the damage from the medication. So
Right.
we
I've
want...
been a type 2 since 1980.
Wow. Well, the fact that you are decreasing the need for insulin is phenomenal. That alone is going to extend your life and everything else. So that's going to be awesome. So as far as to know if you should keep lowering your insulin, well, you just want to keep adjusting so your blood sugars then are normal as possible.
Well, I think what my question is, and I might not be explaining this, if insulin in our body causes us to retain our fat, isn't the insulin that I'm taking in my shot also causing that problem? Because when I do take a shot, I notice I will swell up my diet doesn't go as good as it does. And there's some days I won't even take a shot, and that's when I lose the weight.
Yes, that's right. It doesn't matter if your body makes insulin or you get it injected, it's going to create the same response. So, you know, as long as your blood, so I'll give you an example. There was a client who came to see me, and she was getting, I was working with her doctor. Okay, so the doctor was regulating the medication, I was handling nutrition. She actually was a type 2 dependent on insulin. No, she was a type 1 diabetic, okay? Well, she needed less and less and less insulin to the point where she didn't even need any insulin. Now, this is unheard of. So I don't even know if she really was a type 1, that she had complete destruction. Maybe she was a type 2 and then she just needed insulin. But the point is that your body can bounce back from things. And so for someone to say it never will, it's just not true. So keep getting checked, keep playing around with it. When you do intermittent fasting, prolonged fasting, your body will release stem cells. And there's even like research now that they're using stem cells to actually regenerate the beta cell of the pancreas to help that insulin being produced again. So it's all just kind of a gray area right now, but I think that you're go with what your body is responding, and then, you know, let me know what happens. Thanks for your call. Hey, Bonnie, you're from Oklahoma. How are you?
I'm doing fine, and you and Karen are my heroes.
Oh, thanks.
Hey.
I started keto. I did a lot of research last year, and on the 20th of January, you had gone to bed with me almost every night. I mean, I would listen until I fell asleep.
I knew it.
But at the same time, I've lost 85 pounds at 67 years old.
Wow.
That's really
That's
awesome.
I am
amazing.
ecstatic. I have gotten rid of all of my arthritis. I had 2 torn meniscus and a broken left foot when I started this. And I am like 67 going on 35 now.
That's incredible. This is remarkable.
But I know, I was diagnosed with diabetes type 2 in 2006. I opted not to take medication and to instead start taking cinnamon. I did a lot of research there again on natural stuff, fish oil, cinnamon, went to Splenda, which I know is not good for me. I figured it out from you. But from 2006 till 2009, my A1C went from 6.5 to 5.0. At that point, they said, well, it looks like you're in remission. And my doctor, who is a medical doctor who did not believe in holistic medicine, said, I don't feel comfortable without drawing. I said, I think we're good. So he said, I don't feel comfortable the following year about not drawing blood. So he did a finger stick, and non-fasting, it was 110. So he said, well, you're okay. Now, fast forward to 2 weeks ago, I have a cataract, and I went to the Dean McGee Eye Institute here in Oklahoma City, which is the place to go for a lot of states. I happened to draw the assistant professor as my doctor. And he said, he did all these testing on me. And he said, how long have you had diabetes? And I said, well, I don't. I kicked it. He said, well, you're having ocular hemorrhages, which the number one cause is diabetes. So I ran and got a monitor and started doing finger sticks. And in the morning, they were sky high. I mean, for me, like 154. And then as the day progressed, it went better. And after 2 hours after eating was like 120 something. So he says, well, I want you to go to a medical doctor and get a blood workup, which I did. My A1C is 4.9. So there is no diabetes. But my body is just the opposite. It's acting like it is. And I'm wondering if it's a possibility that with keto, I mean, I do 1 meal a day for the most part. On the weekends, sometimes I'll take that 1 meal and divide it in a couple of segments, and eat like 2 times, but the same amount of nutrients. And I'm wondering, my doctor that I pulled on the new primary care physician is a sports medicine doctor, and he says what he thinks might be going on is the IGF is kicking in because my intake of blood sugar is so low.
Okay.
And I was wondering, from your standpoint, because I listen to your IGF and I listen to your diabetes skills and your videos, and I'm wondering, and he said the same thing. He said, I wonder if your blood sugar is going so low in the middle of the night that it's spiking the IGF and making it dump sugar into your bloodstream.
All right, so let me just kind of cover that. That was a little complex, but I'm just going to try to make it really simple. The fact that your A1C is like 4.9 is incredible, so that's good. So but your blood sugar is still high, just in the first part of the day, but then it kind of comes down, which could either be from the liver, because your liver does make glycogen or glucose, so that's probably what's happening. And IGF is a hormone, insulin-like growth factor. It's a hormone that will turn your fat into sugar or fuel. It can do that, or you could just cause your body to use that as fuel. So your liver could be making glucose because it needs it for certain things. Okay, so I mean, if it needs certain parts of your brain, the eye, and also the red blood cell needs a little bit of sugar glucose. So you could be making it from that, okay, as a rebound effect. Also, the adrenal could also be making some sugar. Probably not. It's probably more the liver. So I don't know for a fact if that is the reason why your eye is doing what it's doing. It'd be really nice to do like, some tests before to see if it's improving or worsening. But here's the thing that I would do is I would start implementing exercise immediately, because you can burn off that extra sugar really quick if you start exercising. And then I would also start loading up on phytonutrients that protect the complications from high sugar. So even though you're dealing with this high sugar, like lutein, xanthine, all these different things that are good for the eye to protect the eye against hemorrhaging would be very, very valuable right now. Don't take it from a pill. You can get it in a food concentrate, but don't get like a synthetic version of an antioxidant. Do lots of kale and parsley or concentrated chlorophyll, something like that. So I would do that, and also take a lot of B1, benfotiamine, because that also protects the eye. The eye is one of the areas that the body is very sensitive to. And then I would support your liver. Start working on your liver. I don't know what's going on with your liver, but milk thistle, I actually released a video on that, so you can watch that. So support the liver and these other things, and I think that's what I would do and monitor it closely. But I think you're in the right direction. I wouldn't start going back to carbs, so I would just do those things. Very interesting case, Bonnie. I think it's time for a video. I'm going to have to do a video on that. All right, Karen, what do we have?
Well, there's a question about what kind of foods to introduce to a 6-month-old baby, or whatever age your baby is once they start to reach for food. What would you give your baby, your grandbaby?
I would prefer that the child stay in breastfeeding for 2 years.
Yeah, but at some point prior to
at some point, you mean
that, the child is going to just naturally reach for eating something in addition. Maybe they're going to continue breastfeeding, but food.
Actual food.
Actual food comes before 2 years old.
Yeah, that's an area that I think I want to spend a little bit more time on a video, but the quick answer is you want to keep it, very, very healthy. You want to keep it just like we're recommending. You're going to probably have to grind some things up, but don't do the juice. Don't do just fruit. Do nutrient-dense stuff. So maybe you're going to do a little bit of protein from fish or something like that, or egg, that would be good, or some, cooked vegetables, that would be good. But what most people do is they do the cracker, they do the pureed fruit, and the baby food that's in a jar. It's all just like pasteurized. I wouldn't go that direction. Make your own.
It's so easy to make your own.
Yeah, make your own. I think that's a time for a video or even a book on it. That would be actually very beneficial.
Good.
Janice, you had a question. You're from Florida. Go ahead.
Yes, my question is,
I'm listening to all these miracles, and I'm just so impressed. I'm new at the keto diet. We've been on other plans that worked quite well, but we lost the weight way too fast. But so the first of the year, I decided I'm going to really go the keto diet because I've heard so much about it. So we're new at it. My husband's handicapped, so he doesn't walk, and we're in our 70s also. But I got your Keto for Life book, and we did the first week, which to me was maybe too much food because now he wants to eat all the time. And I'm a vegetarian, so it was kind of hard for me to mix my vegetarian diet with his meat diet on that particular plan. So I was wondering if you could please help me so it's not so confusing to me on how to continue. I really like the Keto for Life book because it gives me the shopping list, so I'm not buying food that I don't use and have to throw away later. So I just need your help because, like I said, we're new, we're just starting, we need to lose, so help.
Well, I think I'm glad that you called because a lot of people are new, and so the best place to start is I would go to YouTube, okay? And this is what I would do. There's a couple of videos I just released, and they're basically keto, here's where to start, okay? Here's where to start, video 1, okay? And then I have the second one, video 2. And there's a playlist. There's a playlist on there. But I think if you really want to make it even simpler, which Karen just reminded me, you go to my website. There's a button that says mini courses. And the course is basically just 3 videos. There's nothing, no homework, nothing you have to do. 3 videos, and it's how to do keto and intermittent fasting. It is so, so simple. And this is not the one that I need. So I'm not going to even record it. So I would go with those videos, get the basics down first with those 3 videos. Eventually you want to get my book, but right now I would watch the videos because I keep it really, really simple. And then build up from there because you're going to have questions like what kind of protein can I use if I'm a vegetarian? Videos on if I'm doing too much protein. And then basically go from there. But I have a lot of intro videos, and that's what you want to read because if you jump into like some advanced videos, you're going to be like way over your head. So start there, Janet. Stay tuned also because I have something for vegans and vegetarians as far as a great protein source. Stay tuned in about a month. Okay, Crystal, you're from Canada. What part?
From Toronto. Hi,
Okay.
Dr. Berg
Hi,
and
how are you?
Karen.
Hi.
I'm doing all right. I just first of all want to thank you so much for the work that you do and for the wealth of information that you put out for everybody in the whole world out there. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Sure.
Okay, so Dr. Berg, in July of 2018, I started keto and intermittent fasting. I was doing great with that. I was taking your electrolyte, your cruciferous, and the adrenal support. I got down to 1 meal a day, and I lost from July to November. I lost 60 pounds.
Wow.
But then, thank you. I felt amazing when I was in ketosis. But then, Dr. Berg, last December 10, I had to go for 9-level cervical spinal laminectomy with instrumented fusion. So it's from C1 to T2. I know I was not in ketosis right before surgery because I know I'm in ketosis because I'm not hungry. But before surgery, I wasn't in ketosis. I slowly was taking carbs again, and then after the surgery, so now it's just been a month, and I really want to go back to ketosis, but I'm having a hard time, and I don't know if it's safe for me because I remember you making a video about ketosis versus ketoacidosis. And one of the things that you said about ketoacidosis is you don't do it like when you have surgery. I don't know if it's when you're gonna have surgery or after surgery.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't know how to get back
Okay.
to
So,
keto and
Crystal,
intermittent
this
fasting.
is what I want you to do. You're not a diabetic type 1, so you can do keto. So that's only for diabetics type 1. If you want actually, if you get surgery, keto and intermittent fasting is going to be the thing that's going to help you recover faster because it's going to decrease your recovery time. It enhances protection against stress and provides fuel for rebuilding and repair. So you want to just jump right in and start immediately, like with the next 5 minutes. So start by not eating anything right now the whole day. But that's going to help you, and do it nutrient dense because you want to heal that. And I would also get the acupressure tool and start working on the other areas of your spine to give it some relief. Okay? Just do that and it will work. Hey, Paul, you're from, I think you had some questions, and you have and fellow diplomats.
Yes, Mr. Berg. Thank you very much for taking my call. I must appreciate you are very famous in UNO too, United Nations too. Mostly 3 or 4 diplomats following you too. I put 6 secretaries of mine today to call you. It's very hard to get your number today, but thank you very much. But I was recommending your name as a Nobel Prize too. Whatever you're doing for all the world.
Wow.
You are very popular in all the world. And I must say that you should open your clinic in all over the world. Because all the diplomats are very, not healthy, it's all fats, And I was giving you tips to them, and they are really impressed, but some of not trusting me, like how you can do that. But some of you are following you, and the way you're doing it's a super great, And you are the talk in the UNO too in these days.
What country? What country?
And we represent India and United Nations. And I know all the diplomats when we met there in Geneva, in Switzerland. We might call you in conference in United Nations. Probably I was talking to UN Secretary General about your name, So you're doing tremendously good work, So I am following you last 62 days,
Wow.
And I lost almost 50 pound weight in 60 days.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Yeah. But I'm struggling almost my whole life in 20 years. I lost the maximum. I lost probably 10 pounds. I did every single thing, spent thousands of dollars, right? I hire all the people for me, right? I have all the people come to teach me. Nothing go away. It's come back. And this is the first time Dr. Berg. My family, all the people calling me like I'm a Dr. Berg now. I'm teaching them. Oh, do this, do this. Everybody calling me. Everybody all over the world. I'm calling from Australia, Switzerland, New Zealand, Saudi. How you lost 60 pounds in 2 months? In 2 months? Can you believe it?
That's amazing.
I just falling. I bought everything from your website, the raw suit, the electrolytes, the sleeping aid, you name it. I just keep ordering everything. Order it. So, because I spent thousands of dollars, $20,000 maybe. Nothing helped me. Just spend $2,000. Maybe to help. And it really helps me.
Wow.
I called Dr. Jason Wang. He come to see me too. He said, you're doing excellently great.
Wow.
And I met Dr. Jason Fung too, and he met me and he likes me too. But the reason is this, you are better than any doctor. You teach everybody all the points. You just catch everything. Do this. But you go to YouTube, just put anything in the first. Sleeping aid, can't sleep, Dr. Berg. Hold the video come. Oh, you don't need this. Just put Dr. Berg. You're very famous. Very famous. Very famous.
It
All over the world.
sounds like we need to do a road trip to India.
Yeah.
Correct. You should open a clinic in India. There's a lot of your patients in India, all over the Asia. If you open in Delhi, I think probably 10 of my family, close family friends, they are big diplomats, big businessmen. They said, we can bring Dr. Berg in India. I said, you don't want to come.
What we'll have to do is we'll start with a symposium, but I tell you what, why don't you, this is very interesting, Paul.
It's amazing.
and so happy that you got these great results.
I
Why don't you?
left my secretary left 6 messages in your office. I
Well,
have all their names.
Can you do me a big favor?
Call us back.
Can you do me a big favor?
Sure.
Okay, just
Sure,
email
sure.
me. Email me at drberg@drberg.com.
Yeah, I will definitely,
Okay.
and you should come and see me sometime.
Okay.
Maybe when I will come to New York. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll introduce to another Secretary General from here too. But I don't have mostly any question, but you're doing excellent.
Oh,
Excellent,
thank you
excellent.
so
My
much.
blood glucose was, but my blood I'm 38. My blood glucose was always 87. I have only problem. It's going 105 right now. I am just nervous. Why is going 105? Just because I was keep doing the whole my life. It is all 84. We
Well,
used to
thank
go
you
for
so
2
much,
lunch,
Paul.
2 dinner.
Thank you so much.
go
I
ahead.
appreciate
Yes.
that. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Good.
you're doing excellent.
I'm going to talk to you real soon.
I'm going to recommend your name for. No, I'm going to recommend your name for a Nobel Prize.
Wow.
Definitely. The way you're doing it, nobody can do it.
Thank
That's
you.
great.
I appreciate
Thank
that. I
you
will talk to
so
you really
much.
soon. Thank you.
Bye. Wow.
Wow, that was incredible. That guy's.
Well, it's good to
taken
know.
off.
It's good to know that people are using it.
Well, you know
right?
what's
That
interesting?
the message is getting out there,
On-
and people are really using.
On YouTube, there's basically India is the 3rd country that's actually watching the YouTube videos.
Wow.
So we have
That's
like
great.
300 million views. Yeah, they're number 3. So you know
Yeah.
what?
Well, keeping Dr. Berg for all your associates.
I think we need to go to India. Well, next week.
Next week.
Hey, Ricardo, you're from New Jersey. You had a question. Go ahead.
Hello, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Dr. Berg. Oh my God! Thank you very much for taking my call. Hi, Karen, to you too.
Hi.
Thank you for the effort you guys are doing. God bless your efforts, your sweat, your tears, your nights of no sleep. Please, Dr. Berg, thank you very much for trying to save us all.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
My name, my name is Ricardo. Just real quick, I have an adrenal body type. I'm 32 years old. I follow you. I'm following you, sir. Like you are my platoon leader. So, I'm adrenal body type. I'm concerned because I have a history of tuberculosis, and I was watching your video about the viruses that they're not alive and they're actually in remission in your body. And I'm kind of concerned that sickness can come back and can threaten my life one more time. Also, I'm concerned about the liver damage that I probably have because of the 6 months of antibiotics that I had because of that. And just a quick review. I follow you to the teeth, and I'm actually really convinced that you will really need that Nobel Prize. I'm not even kidding. You should
I
really have a
agree.
Nobel Prize. Also, Karen, before I go, thank you very much for answering my call, Dr. Berg. And Karen, my mom and my dad need a lot of motivation. Like my family, it's like your husband, it's Morpheus and I'm Neo. It's a Matrix reference. So he wake me up and my entire family is still asleep, and I'm trying to save my entire generation, my entire family, and I had to start with my dad and my mom, and they don't want to listen to me.
Oh. Does she cook?
Yeah, she does. Actually, I think I know more about cooking ketogenic than her, but she cooks too. But I think it's just it's my little son trying to teach me something mentality that they have that they don't want to, So,
well, just
Dr.
keep at
Berg,
it.
I don't want to take more of it. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Dr. Berg, I don't want to take more of your time. Please keep doing your awesome job. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Semper Fi, sir.
Thank you, Ricardo. Listen, I wanted just to mention real quick before we go, viruses, TB, other microbes that go in remission, they can come out of remission. The only solution is to stay super healthy, bulletproof yourself with health, because these things come out of remission when you're run down, tired, and stressed. Okay, stressed. So you have to it's really simple, just eliminate all the stress out of your life and you'll be fine. But on the other note, one of the best things to keep TB in remission is vitamin A and vitamin D together, but not from some synthetic. Get it from cod liver. A high quality cod liver oil has the perfect balance of vitamin D and vitamin A, and that is, our grandmothers told us to consume that. So cod liver oil every day would be very beneficial. Highly recommend it. On that note, guys, thank you so much for your wonderful comments and great questions too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing. You guys are doing so great. If we can give the information, we can give the information, but you guys put it to use, and I'm always blown away. I'm blown away by how many people are writing in and calling in with tons of weight loss and tons of recovery of body problems. It's amazing.
Awesome. Have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you next week.